Hey everyone, Andrew Hess here. Today I want to go over MCP, the basics of it, how to use it, a very simple example, break down how it does tool calls, about best practices and consumption. Let's do a very short, simple video on MCP. Let's get into it. So today I want to talk to you about Copilot Studio, MCP, and calling on the tools. And we're going to keep this as basic as we can. Right, don't want to go too deep into this, but we want to understand what is MCP and why does it matter with Copilot Studio. When I think about MCP, the best way to describe it that I can think of right now is it's the new way for AI to interact with APIs. So I want you to think about this analogy. I've done this before. You're in a restaurant, you have a menu, and you have a waiter, right? And so the menu is your API call, and you can pick what you want, and the waiter goes to the kitchen and brings it back to you, right? So the same thing with Model Context Protocol, or MCP. You have a menu, and instead of a waiter going back and getting what you want, you prompt what you want, and AI decides which item in the menu you want and goes to the kitchen and brings it back to you, right? So think of it that way. That's how I like to break it down. API, you have a waiter. MCP, you have AI to decide which you would like to retrieve. MCP was actually developed by Anthropic. It's now a widely adopted protocol that is used by many AI systems. This is a way for developers to standardize calls with APIs using AI. And it kind of just got adopted by the community, and so people started using MCP a lot. Now, how MCP works with Copilot Studio, you have an MCP client, right? So if you didn't have Copilot Studio, you would have a client, but we have Copilot Studio. And then there's a server that's somewhere that has your menu on it, right? And your menu has a bunch of tools, and these tools can be called upon by the description. And we're going to demo that in a little bit. So you have a client, Copilot Studio. You can type a prompt and it reaches out to your server, and your server has a list of tools, and those lists of tools are triggered or called upon by their description. There are best practices for MCP. I'm not going to go very, very deep into it, but you don't want to be too ambiguous. And when I say ambiguous, you don't want your AI to get confused on which tool to call, right? You want your AI to have a clear direction in the description of which tool to call, because the more it loops, you're going to be using up consumption. And what's nice about this is if someone adds a new tool, you don't have to do any work in the back end, like you would have to create a new API connection if you had a new connector. No, someone just adds a tool, AI can decide to use it or not based on the description. So as I was saying, why people would adopt this is because now it's faster to integrate new tools. You don't have to create new APIs, new connectors. There's less duplicated work in the connectors, and it just makes things simpler, and it makes things more scalable. So we are going to get a little bit into pro code today. It's okay. We're going to keep this super simple so you can understand it, even if you're not a pro code person. What I've done here is I'm using what's called FastMCP, and pretty much that's just a Python way to do MCP. And then I also have imported a package for random so we can generate random things. Now, I've kept this super, super simple. We have a few different tools, and you can look at each one of these. Each one of these are a tool, an MCP's tool, and then here is the description. I like to call this the description, and it's very similar to skills, right? What you do in the description of a skill is you state what it does and when to call it. So what does it do? It returns the name of recommended food, and when to call it when the user asks for a food suggestion. So we have a get food definition. We have a get book definition, right? So return the title of the recommended book. So I'm literally saying return this exact book when we're calling on our MCP. So if someone says, what's your recommended book? I'm saying return Snow Crash by Neil Stephenson. And then once again, we have a movie, return the movie to The Lion King. So if someone asks about a recommended movie, it returns Lion King. We're keeping this very, very basic. Just think this could get very, very complex really quickly, but we're keeping it basic today. Now for this one, I'm saying get conference, and I have an array of different conferences, right? So there's 3 conferences in here. There's TechCon 365, the Power Platform Community Conference, and Microsoft Build. And then I'm asking it to return a random choice, right? Very simple concept. You say, give me a conference, it gives you a random one. Now, we're using a little bit of AI here. Not really, we're just passing in a variable. I'm saying return a Wikipedia link when the user asks about a specific city or wants to learn more. Pass the Wikipedia link and then a variable of city. And that's our entire MCP service. So we have 5 different tools, and we can add more tools onto this if we want. And then all I did was push this to Azure. Now, I'm not going to get into those details, but just kind of understand that you can host a container of your MCP, and it is out in the cloud. It's out in the world. It has these 5 tools. It can call upon these tools. Now let's go to Copilot Studio real quick. All right, I have a blank Copilot Studio agent. And what I'm doing is I'm actually going to go down to Claude Sonnet 5. But actually, people were complaining to me and they were like, oh, I don't have Claude. Let's go to GPT 5.5 chat, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and save. We're going to use GPT 5.5 chat. No problem. It should be able to do this as long as your descriptions in the Python that we wrote are clear, not ambiguous, and are concise. Your AI LLM model should easily be able to call upon them. Okay, so now what am I going to do? I'm going to go to Tools, and we have some MCP servers in here, right? Some of these are provided by third-party vendors. Some of these are provided by Microsoft. But today, we actually created our own, and we hosted it in Azure. So I'm going to click Add here. All right, and we're going to add our own Model Context Protocol MCP. And in here, we want to give it a name. Let's just call it My Favorites. How about that? Like, we can name it whatever we'd like. Maybe we'll call it My Favorites MCP. Server description, calls on favorites, and gives Wikipedia links to cities. All right, now server URL, this is going to be in Azure. Now I'm going to blur out a lot of things, but I'm going to show you where I'm getting this server URL. Now here in Azure, I have what's called a container app, and this is what's hosting my MCP. A lot of this I'm probably going to blur out, right? But I want you to focus on the application URL. Now you can go to an LLM and help you push this out to Azure if you'd like. It's fairly simple. I'm going to bring that over to my server URL, and that is what I'm going to use for my MCP. For now, I don't have an API key. So all of you online that are like, I'm going to go spam his MCP, I'm going to delete this. I'm going to add an API key. I'm going to lock it down, right? Those are best practices. Do not leave your MCP server open with no authentication, unless for some reason your security team says that's okay. I'm not going to do that. I don't want anyone, costing me money. This is a YouTube video. So for now, we're going to do authentication none, and I'm going to click add. And so we're adding my MCP server right here. All it is this simple MCP server. I have a requirements that I'm just using FastMCP. I have a Docker file that's very, very simple. Once again, we're using Python, and we're using my simple Python file here. And then we're running that and allowing it to be consumed in our container app in Azure. Okay, so my favorites MCP. We then need to create a connection, right? So we're just going to create a connection, and I am going to click add. All right, so now if everything is correct, and that includes authentication, everything works, you should be able to click on your MCP there, and it should show you the tools that we actually had in Python. And this may look familiar, actually, and I'll show you why. Now, I am using, the most basic servers, everything super cheap in Azure, right? This will probably cost me 30 to 50 cents, and that's why it may take a little bit longer. Now, if you want more power, more consumption, then you can kind of bump up your container app in Azure. But now you can see I have my tools, and they're the exact same thing that I wrote in Python. Isn't that neat? So you can actually see, so returns the name of the recommended food. So it's the exact same thing, and it's called get food, and it will return spaghetti. Now, what's nice about MCP is I, as the developer or the maker in Copilot Studio, I can decide to turn tools on and off. I don't have to have all of the tools available. So for city and conference, I can turn those off for now. So what's important actually to kind of ground it in its own knowledge is to say, hey, no searching all websites. We don't want you to allow the agent to search web-defined content. No, I'm going to remove that. All right, so since we've now said what's in scope, said what's out of scope with our rules, maybe I'll remove the site. That's fine. I don't want to cite right now. 4 or 5. So these are just our rules for our MCP server. I can come over here and I can say, what is a recommended book? And it should respond with Snow Crash by Neil Stephenson. It's recommending a book. It's asking for permission. So we are going to allow it to have permission. This does happen on the first time, just kind of, asking for permission. And it does say a recommended book is Snow Crash by Neil Stephenson. It's a science fiction novel that blends cyberpunk, virtual reality, and satire, right? And I think that's very useful. Now, if I say the same thing, what is a good food choice? It then should also respond with spaghetti. Let's say that one of your Python libraries is not available in Copilot Studio in the new harness. You could have an MCP server that has your Python library available for it. So a good food choice is spaghetti. But now let's ask it, what about a city? Tell me about Paris. So it actually should not tell us about Paris. You see that? So that's good for our guardrails. It's saying, hey, no. There's nothing in our MCP server that allows me to talk about Paris. So let's go back to our MCP server. Let's turn on Get Conference and Get City. And let's try a new chat again. What about Paris? So let's see if it actually calls our city. So it is using the Get City. It found it. It gave me the Wikipedia link. I can click on that and I have the Wikipedia link for Paris. Pretty neat, right? So I can do the same thing for another city, New York. So all it is using that variable and passing me the Wikipedia link. And that's really, really neat, right? It even decided to do the underscore for me. That's the power. And I actually did it wrong. It should have been New York City, right? So it actually did New York City. So, okay, I did something wrong. Let's see. Let's try this. If the user asks about a state or country, find a popular city to return for the Get City tool call. So if the user asks about a state or city, find a popular city and format it for the URL to return to the Get City the Get City tool call. Let's give it a save. So I want it to form it like a URL, and let's try again. Now let's say, tell me about New York. So now it should format it and make that URL for us. Okay, it's asking about New York City. Okay, good. Look at that. It even formatted the URL for us so we can click on it and do New York City. So let's think of a country so that way it can infer a city. Let's try, tell me about Japan. All right, so this time we put in a country. We're asking the LLM to figure out a city, probably Kyoto or Tokyo, right, that it will come up with. It decided Tokyo. And so now the Wikipedia works for Tokyo. Now, once again, we can easily call, say, get me a conference, and it should do the randomize, choose between the 3 conferences. All right, so it found the Power Platform Community Conference. Perfect, straight from our Get Conference tool call. So really neat, you can take a deep dive into here. You can see the content, the text, etc. The wrap is true. Now I just want to take this one step further and just show you about all of this. Take a look at what we have here. So if we were to connect to something like WorkIQ and we connect to it, I want you to remember what our custom MCP server looks like. So do you remember our custom MCP server, how it had a list of tools? Very similar, right? So WorkIQ is all an MCP server. It's allowing you to do different tool calls just like we did before. So we have our tool calls and our description. Very, very similar. And that to me is the big aha moment, right? The big aha moment. So we created a custom MCP. We saw what that looked like. And now take a look. Look at WorkIQ. It's just another MCP server. Very, very neat. Very cool. And that's the power of MCP. And that's where I'm going to leave you today. We showed you WorkIQ. There are a ton of MCP servers out there. And then people are just going to keep adding and adding more of their own. Now, if you'd like a deeper dive into more advanced features of MCP, leave a comment. Let me know. My name is Andrew Hess, and I'll see you next week.